Welcome to this week's episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in as little as 15 minutes to build your dream business. And now here's your host, the Visibility Wiz, Cindy J.
Hi, I'm Cindy J, the Visibility Wiz, and welcome to this episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in 15 minutes or less to build your business. And today our guest is Roshni Baronia. She helps women entrepreneurs build sustainable and global businesses. Her clients benefit from her experience with retail, e-commerce, media, social enterprise, and startups in the area of strategic sales planning, marketing, and business development. Welcome, Roshni. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. I'm so glad to be here, and a very warm hello and welcome to all the listeners of Biz Success 15.
Thank you. It's definitely our pleasure having you. And to begin with, Roshni, can you share a personal or business challenge that you had to overcome in order to achieve your level of success?
Yeah, sure. So actually, it is not personal or business. It is personal and business. It's like two in one for me. So I assume it's true for many entrepreneurs that they have a big group of people whom they call their business or professional network. Mm-hmm. And then they have a big group of people whom they call their family and friends and a personal network. And both these networks put together is not giving them enough business what they wanted. They are not generating enough referrals that they wanted. And similar was the case for me. I had moved from being an entrepreneur to in consulting business. And I had worked across various projects, across various genres. And my network was not clear with what exactly my forte is. Because I didn't take out the time to tell them what is it that I'm doing. So this absence of a strong personal brand was my biggest business challenge. And the personal challenge associated with it was that I am not a person who is very comfortable with putting myself out there on social media very much. I'm not a person who is like me on all the platforms, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn at all. But here's an interesting fact that 82% of the consumers prefer buying from a brand whose founder is active on social media. And as it stands now, only 1 out of 5 CEOs are doing that. Right. So I had to overcome this challenge of mine to build my personal brand, letting people know what is it that I do, what I stand for, and more importantly, to view this entire process as a means to communicate with my network, to have the opportunity of creating value for them, sharing my ideas, insights, and inspiration with the intention that someone somewhere in the world will benefit from it. And now when I meet anyone from my network, they say, wow, girl, you are all over the place. And whenever they meet some women entrepreneur who is in need of increasing her sales, looking for some sales strategy or planning, they refer me. So that's how my challenge of not having a personal brand didn't work out for me. And then once I overcame the challenge, it started working for me.
Exactly. And I find that so many people have those same exact challenges. As you said, it was hard for you to talk about me. But whenever you know your brand and you know what you stand for, you need to shout it from the rooftop so everybody knows. And for some people, it's very, very difficult to do because so many, especially women, we were taught to give, and it's all about you. And so to incorporate the me and the you sometimes can be very difficult.
Absolutely.
So kudos to you, and thank you for sharing that so eloquently. I love the way you shared your challenge. And two, for anybody out there that's listening, if you're in that place, know that you can overcome it as well. If somebody else has done it, you can do it too.
Absolutely.
And Roshni, next, why is it you teach people that there's different selling styles. And so why is it important for a person to know their selling style?
Hmm. Yeah. So very often we hear people, especially women, that they are saying, I don't like selling. Selling is a dirty work. It's not my cup of tea. I don't feel comfortable doing selling. Now, all these responses are coming in because they are trying to match up to a persona of a salesperson, which usually is very masculine, aggressive, or pushy. And they do not relate with this persona. They feel a detachment, and that's why that discomfort is that they tend to start avoiding this conversation of sales. But only when they understand that being who they are, even if that means being an introvert, they can sell. That is when they fall in love with selling. So,
Mm-hmm.
knowing your selling style puts you into a comfortable place where you are able to design your sales interactions in a way that you feel comfortable in. And that's why knowing your selling style is so important.
Yes, and it's so true about like women. We are taught to be more passive, and if we are aggressive, for a lot of women it just doesn't feel natural to us. So therefore, we're
Absolutely.
resisting our heart
Yes,
and what ourselves.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of recognizing these
Mm-hmm.
different styles and how you can approach selling in a different way, which relates to who you are, what you think, and how you behave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you're not selling, I honestly believe if you're not selling from your heart, if you don't really believe that you have the value to add people and you're congruent with the way you're sharing your message, that it's never going to work for you because it needs to line
Mhm.
up. It needs to be congruent.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely.
And Roshni, how many selling styles are there? And can you give us a brief description, maybe some challenges that the different selling styles face?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So women especially have diverse and mirrored and vibrant personalities. So that's why I have curated 5 selling styles, which more or less all the women entrepreneurs predominantly will find, like you use the word, congruence with. So let me take you through those 5 styles. First is the bestie style, which most of the female founders have. They believe in building strong and long term relationships. Women of bestie style are great at forming heart to heart connections. And that's why their customers feel very safe doing business with them. And that's why they also tend to have long term repeat clients. But what doesn't work for them is the fear of rejection. Listening to a no can put them into a shell which which is which will be difficult for them to get out of for a few days, and they don't want to appear as pushy and aggressive. So sometimes they do not take the initiative to start that sales conversation. So they build strong relationships, but they fear to start the sales conversation in the first place.
They fail
Then
to
there is
start
the
the
second.
conversation. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Then
And
there is
it's
the
interesting
seeker.
with because you said that this is the bestie one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
This is the best
it's
one, the
very
first one.
interesting because like you had said with the besties, they have a hard time with the rejection. And in true life, like in our personal lives, we don't have like 100 best friends. We don't have 100 besties. And if we do call our best friend, say, hey, do you want to go to the movies? And they say, hey, not today. We don't feel that rejection. Or if there's some
Ah,
stranger on the street that doesn't isn't our best friend, we don't feel the rejection, but we do in that business model whenever
yes,
so it's
yes,
very interesting to see the
yes,
differences there.
yes, absolutely, rightly said.
Hmm. And the
Then there is the
second
second
style?
style, which is the seeker style.
The
Now,
secret?
these people are seeker,
Seeker, Seeker, the seeker style.
Seer, seeker
Okay.
style. So now these people are always seeking out new connections. They are looking out to meet new people. So these are the people whom you can call power networkers. You will find them always at networking events, conferences, exchanging business cards. But the thing is, they go wide with their business connections, but they don't go deep with any one of them. So they don't have the long-term engagement with their customers. They are a go-to person for any referrals or small favors or help, but they themselves suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out. They don't want to miss any other conference. They don't want to be missed out at any upcoming event. They don't want to miss out on the possibility of meeting new people and generating new leads.
Very interesting.
That's the dichotomy of it. While they are very good at connecting people at a networking event, but they miss out on building deep relations with them.
And the third style?
Then there is the third style, the problem solvers. They are the people who are able to unearth the real queries and problems by asking the right questions in the first place, and then resolving those queries through their products or services. This approach of solution selling works beautifully for them because they are able to close sales faster. But the only issue they have is that while they give a promising solution, they miss out on the execution of the delivery of it. So that's when the customer feels that it was over-promised and under-delivered. Yeah?
Yeah. Very,
then there
very
is a
cool.
Fourth style, the challenger style.
The challenger?
Challenger. This is the most result-oriented approach, especially in today's age, in today's digital age when there is so much of destruction and distraction going around in the customer's life also. These are the subject matter experts who are able to educate their customers. They don't lead with questions. They lead with facts, insights, and knowledge. They are that advisor, that thought leader for their customer who is able to give the customer the help, the nudge they need to make the right decision. But the only issue with them is that sometimes they appear very transactional or straightforward. So it's always facts and knowledge and information that being shared, not too much of emotions or heart-to-heart connects. That's the only drawback for the challenger.
Yes.
And the last one is the go-getter. Now, go-getter comes across as the most balanced and well-rounded personality, where she hunts for the new leads as well as strategically approach all her sales activities. So essentially, it is a blend of all the selling styles, and they are a master of all the steps in the sales process. But the only drawback they have is that they have a need of being acknowledged. They know they are very good. They are the best in what they are doing. So they want their customers to love them for that, to show them and tell them, yes, you are the best. So if the customer doesn't appreciate them for that, they have a little trouble with it. Ideally,
go ahead.
Yeah, ideally, we should strive to have a bit of all these styles, and as per the context and the sales situation, have the ability to adapt to a particular style. But yeah, first and foremost, identify what your selling style is, play to the strengths of your style, work upon the things that are not working for you, and then in the second phase, have that flexibility and adaptability to take on whichever style works best in that particular sales situation.
And so there are strengths in each of the selling styles too that I was hearing you say. Each selling style has its absolute strength, and so that's what we should be building upon, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then also I would assume that you can have more than one selling style, or one can be your primary and one can be your secondary.
Absolutely. That would work beautifully, in fact. Uh, just in case, like it happened with one of my clients, she was in a wellness industry, and she used to do a lot of yoga and counseling and mental healing, mindfulness, meditation. So she used to think that I am into a very spiritual work. How am I going to sell?
Right.
So she used to only have that bestie style. But then we taught her to have that challenger style, adopt to a challenger style where she can educate, leverage her skills of counseling to educate her customer as to why these things are important for them.
I love it. Thank you very much. And so with all of these too, you were talking about like limiting beliefs that different styles have. So how can one overcome their limiting beliefs so that they can experience the success they're looking for?
Yes, absolutely. So removing limiting beliefs actually is a mindset though. And believe me, sales is 90% mindset, only 10% tactics. So if you are fearing or avoiding making that call, writing that email, doing that follow up, you have to look deeper into why that is happening. And most of the times, it's a mindset thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, firstly, you have to shift your mindset from a sales mindset to a contribution mindset. Your product, service, or program is meant to benefit and help that one person or prospect that is waiting for you. So diligently go after them. The another thing you need to do is change the words. Changing the words helps a long way in changing your limited belief. For example, if you believe that your high price scares away your customers, so you have to say to yourself instead that you have clients that are willing to pay you for the value you provide to them.
Exactly.
And they will come to you. So be okay with hearing to 10 no's before you hear that one yes. For example, if you believe that your follow-ups are bothering your prospect, maybe you are appearing too pushy or aggressive. So start believing that creating value is your second nature. And every follow up is an opportunity for you to create that value for your prospect. So you can share a piece of information, you can share an insight, an infographic, and a latest industry news. So every time you do that follow up, you are contributing a value into their lives. And research shows that 80% of the sales get closed at the 8th contact. So you have to wade through that process of going to the 8th contact. So change your belief by stating to yourself that you are creating value for your customer and your prospect at every stage.
Absolutely great information. Thank you, Roshni. Jish, we could talk about this all day, but to move on. And Roshni, can you share a 15-minute strategy that our listeners can implement to help build their business?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The one thing that every entrepreneur should have is a sales planner. So once they have their sales planner, every day they have to spend just 10 minutes. Yeah, you have 15 minutes allocated on a daily basis. I say if they spend even 10 minutes on it, they will be able to streamline the entire sales process and what is it that they need to do on a daily basis in terms of their sales activity, whether it is meeting of clients, whether it is calling their clients, sending out the emails, creating a marketing collateral. Whatever it is, have your sales planner and make it a point that daily 10 minutes or 15 minutes you're spending on that sales planner, noticing what your activities are for the week and follow the schedules and the plans according to it.
Very good. So important to plan. You know, I always love that that quote that people that don't write down their plan for people. I don't remember it exactly, but it's something like if you don't
people
write down
who don't
your
plan,
plans,
who fail to plan to fail.
That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Roshni, I know that you have a wonderful gift to share with our community. So can you share what it is?
Yes, of course. So as we discussed all about the different selling styles, and which is so relevant to women entrepreneurs especially. So that is my free gift and the value I want to create in their lives. Of course, Cindy, you will be sharing the link to it. And I will really encourage every one of your listeners to take this test. And if there is anything they need help with in understanding their style or overcoming their fears, I will be very happy to help them in falling in love with selling and overcoming that fear of theirs.
Oh, thank you. It's a beautiful gift. So to our listeners, you want to head on over to bizsuccessin15.com/Roshni. That's all lowercase letters, ROSHNI. So it's bizsuccessin15.com/ROSHNI. So bizsuccessin15.com/Roshni. And there'll be a replay of this episode, plus there'll be a link for you to click to go take your quiz. It's so important for you to know what your selling style is so that you can really create the successful business of your dreams. And so it's such a beautiful gift. Thank you, Roshni, for sharing that. And do you have any parting words?
Yes, definitely. So as we will be starting the new year, we are in the early part of the 2020 till the time this podcast comes out. I want to send lots and lots of love to all the listeners. May this year be full of opportunities and success for you. And please remember this year, make it a point that you invest in yourself, upgrade and upskill yourself. And also, Cindy, I want to thank you deeply for giving me this opportunity, giving me this platform to share my voice and connect with your listeners. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you, Roshni. It's definitely my pleasure. Absolutely loved having you today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's show, feel free to share it with your friends. Everybody needs to know their selling style. So go share it on your Facebook and your Twitter about today's episode so they can listen to Roshni and learn about their selling styles. And then you want to hop on over to bizsuccessin15.com/Roshni, ROSHNI, bizsuccessin15.com/Roshni. And you're going to find all links from today's show. You'll be able to re-listen to Roshni's words of wisdom, catch up on anything that you might have missed. And while you're there, be sure to go and take your own selling style quiz. There's a link on that page that's going to take you directly to the quiz that Roshni has developed for you to determine your own selling style. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic week. Be sure to tune in again next week with another amazing guest. Big hugs. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Biz Success in 15. For all links mentioned in today's show and to watch or listen to previous episodes, visit bizsuccessin15.com. Thanks so much for listening, and be sure to tune in next week for another amazing guest.